All right, here's the overarching takeaway here from Levi's Stadium. That 49ers team that just beat the Jets 32-19, that had outgained the Jets 400 plus to 196 before garbage time, that won so convincingly here to close week one of the NFL season. That 49ers team is going to add Christian McCaffrey. They're going to add Talanoa Hufanga. They might add Dre Greenlaw at some point. They're going to get Brandon Ayuk back in shape. Trent Williams is going to get back in shape. But this 49ers team has time because they're going to add a lot of good pieces to what was already a dominant outfit today against the Jets. That might have been the 49ers B- game, maybe even a C+ game. Now, they stopped the run. They had some fun because they stopped the run. That was the biggest weakness they had to do. And I thought the offensive line, here is the overarching takeaway from the strategy of this game. The Jets wanted to play this game in the context of pass rushing and the 49ers pass protection. The 49ers said, no, we're not going to let that happen after a couple drives. We'll feel the game out. We are going to cram it down your throat. We're going to run the football right down your throat. And, they couldn't stop it. And, we shouldn't be focused on whether Jordan Mason said that he found out that he's going to start Friday or Saturday or Sunday. We should be focused on the fact that Jordan Mason, in front of family that flew all the way from Nashville after a hell of an offseason where his dad helped him on the jugs machine, delivered a career performance, 147 yards, might have made himself some money moving into the future. Jordan Mason executed his job, and it was emblematic of the 49ers winning on both trenches. Brock Purdy was really good too. Anyway, that's the 2-minute drill. I'm going to have so much more coverage of this over the course of tonight, tomorrow, but wanted to take you into the 49ers locker room where I talked to Trent Williams, who said he had to run in, get an IV. He said it's like pushing a truck on every single down to play offensive line. Obviously, he's not in tip-top game shape yet, but that will come. 49ers have to turn around, short week down Minnesota, but hear from the 49ers in the locker room, from George Kittle to Dominic Pooney, who was awesome today, to somebody like Eric Saubert, who was really good at the tight end position. Good intel from the 49ers locker room right here.
It was nice, too. Eric played with Houston. He played with Miami. He was coached by my old tight ends coach for a little bit, so he knows what our offense is like. So seeing him out there succeed, that was awesome. I really appreciated him and his work ethic tonight. He did a great job. And then just the way that our whole offensive line and JP ran, like 147 yards. That's not bad for your first career start in the NFL. So happy for him, and hopefully we can just keep roll on that train.
What does Mason add to this offense? He seems a lot different than Christian.
Very different. I told Chris, I was like, the only good thing that came out of him not playing is that our playbook shrinks just a little bit, which I'm always a fan of, the shrinking playbook. Now, like, Kyle can make all these awesome plays, and the cool thing about Christian is you can do all these things that no one else in the world can do. But we really just ran the most simple outside zone all day. Whether it's a weak side run at Trent or Colton, or you had 2 tight ends in there and just running outside zone, and it worked really, really well. And I was happy for that. And what JP also does, he's just such a downhill runner, and he's a dense dude, sturdy. That'd be a good word for it. Dense, sturdy guy, and he just runs downhill very physically. Like you guys saw that in the first preseason game versus Tennessee. He had 70 yards on 6 carries, and so hopefully he can just keep doing that, and there'll be a very good substitute for Christian, so we don't have to play Christian for 100 snaps a game.
When the defense is snuffing out the run the way that they are,
yes,
does that in an indirect way fuel the way that you guys go out there and block, just in a momentum kind of fashion?
Yeah, I always want to be on I love 10-play drives. I love that. When you have a couple of those in a row and the defense keeps getting 3 and outs, I get tired. But when the defense gives up 1 or 2 kind of 8-play drives, I'm okay with that. But no, it's just our standard is to go out there and be violent and be physical and have running lanes for our running backs. It doesn't matter if it's Christian, doesn't matter if it's JP, doesn't matter if it's Pat or Isaac, whoever's in the backfield, or Debo, whoever it is, we're going to block our tails off for him. And I just think you saw that tonight. What do we have, 180 rushing yards? 181 until we nailed it. So good job, Brandon Allen.
Offensive players are pretty leading up to Malik and Jordan Elliott. How have they been doing?
Oh, they're disruptive. Real disruptive defensive linemen. They just scratching the surface of what they can do. So we just excited and ready to get to Minnesota.
You guys stifled the run today, and that was an area that had some issues last year. Was that a big point of focus this offseason, this training camp?
Of course. I think that's where it started for our defense. when a team can run the ball on you, they can kind of do everything. So we definitely focused on that this year.
What will you be most critical of as you go into this next week?
Just focus on having a better game. We really haven't watched the film of what they do, so I can't really say that right now.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
What do Malik and Jordan bring in terms of stopping the run specifically, just with the body types that they've added?
I mean, they big, but they quick twitch, so they disrupt a lot of things, and they just make it a lot easier for everybody around.
And Leonard too, even though he might be a lighter, more athletic rusher, it seems that he's really tough against the run.
Yeah,
How's he able to do
he can
that?
stop. He can stuff the edge, and then make it easier for the inside guys to kind of make plays and get off blocks. So it was fun to be out there with them boys, and especially see him get a sack his first game here. We just happy and ready to keep it rolling.
Like I said, I take pride in every play I'm out there and try to put, my brand of play, on display, and that's every single time. So hopefully, we just continue to build from here and keep winning games.
In a league that seems to spread it out more and more, it was pretty, I think, fun from our perspective just to see you out there and some old school kind of football.
Absolutely.
I mean, what is it when you sort of know the game plan is? Ideally you want to stick to that, but what is it like to actually execute that?
No, I was telling Juice and George, that was some of the most fun I've had running the ball in a really long time. To be able to, dominate like that in the run game, anytime you have a game like that, it's just so fun. That's all I can say about it. It's what we love to do.
How early in the game did you guys feel like, oh, we got him? If we keep doing this, we got him.
I think we felt it pretty early. We felt it all week. That if we go out there and do what we know we can do, it's going to look like that. And so the preparation was there and the execution was there, and it turned into something awesome.
The first couple drives, they had a couple wins on the pass rush, but I feel that the third drive, you came out, and that's when it really started at least paying dividends in the run game. Was there kind of a recalibration? Or those first two drives kind of a feeling out process at the start of the game?
There's always adjustments. You want to hit the ground running as much as you can, right? But you got to see what they're doing and feel the flow of the game and then adjust to that, any way we can. And I think we got our bearings down and made it happen. We had a great plan going in, so props to the coaches too,
What's George like? I know that's his thing. He's as football as it comes, just in his energy.
For sure.
What was it like to sort of share that with him and be on the field with him?
No, yeah, it's amazing. You're talking about a future Hall of Famer, right? Just getting to know him also as a person more. We came out in the same draft class, and we've kept in touch throughout the years. But getting to be in the room with him and pick his brain and hang out with him off the field, we developed a great friendship, and he's a great teammate. He'll do anything for you, and I'll do anything for him. So, and Juice too. Everybody here. It's a good building filled with great people, and that I think contributes to a lot of our success.
Can you take me back to cut day? You technically were cut on the 53. What was the conversation like with the Niners when that happened? And was it always just going to be as simple as, okay, we'll bring you back tomorrow or whatever? Or was it a little hairy?
I prefer not to talk about that a little bit, but I knew I was in good standing. So it was procedural, and that's all I'll say about that.
For sure, I had good moments, but at the same time, there's a lot to clean up. You could tell they were throwing some looks. I feel like for me, just on the D-line, they were trying to get some guys, get me out of position a little bit, but definitely a lot of things to learn from. But the older guys do a hell of a job just keeping me in the mix and letting me know.
As a collective offensive line, you guys get some success running the ball early, especially inside. Just how much does momentum play into your ability to keep pounding the ball?
Running the ball is huge momentum for the whole team because you got the defense on the bench, they getting their rest, and they're watching us just run the ball the whole game. Just kind of takes a lot of pressure off the skill guys. So the fact that we're able to just do that against like a front like this, the Jets front, their box is really good. So I'm excited to see where it goes from there.
Could you feel the fatigue from the Jets as the game went along? Obviously, week one, everybody's not necessarily in football shape, but could you feel them feeling you?
I think both sides. We were both tired, but you get first game's always the toughest conditioning wise. You get the third and fourth quarter, and it's just like kind of just who wants it more. And Shanahan's done a great job. Coach Shanahan's done a great job getting us in shape for this game. So, I felt really good out there.
We've seen flashes from Mason before preseason, gets his spells, but how outstanding, how great was it to have it back with that kind of vision behind you as well?
It's awesome, man. It's not a surprise to any of us. We've been doing this all camp. And obviously you got Christian ahead of him. So, to have those two in the backfield, and that running back room is super deep. But Jordan, he's awesome. He puts his head down. He gets to those gaps, and we love blocking for him.
It seemed like the third drive was when the run game really you started gashing, going straight at them. Was there any kind of point of emphasis? I know the first couple drives there were a couple breakdowns in pass protection. So was it like third drive we want to run it down their throats?
I think in the first game, those first 2-3 drives is always kind of like a feel it out, kind of just get out your get in your rhythm. So the third drive for us, they able to just kind of get the ball going. I think once you have a drive like that and you know you can do that, it's easy to build off that. So I did it the whole game.
You're going up against Quinn Williams.
It felt all right, I'm happy we got the dub. Happy we controlled the run game for the most part. I want to continue to get better. We got another one coming up short here.
How much do you take that? I'm sorry, you mentioned the run game, controlling that. How much do you take that as D linemen sort of, and you obviously set that tone?
They're not going to pass if they don't got to stop running it. So,
What's that?
They're not going to pass if they don't got to stop running it. So you want to shut that down early.
Were you surprised they stuck with it?
Hold on, bro.
Were you surprised they stuck with the run as much as they did?
Yeah, I was surprised by that last drive a little bit.
This is a team that, uncharacteristically last year struggled a bit against the run. I know you weren't here, but was it an emphasis when they signed you? Like, hey, we need to shore this up on the inside?
I'm not really sure. I know I was brought here to play the left defensive tackle. That's what I'm playing. Run down, run, pass, whatever it calls for.
You talked about you work out with Javon in the offseason. You're excited to get to play with him. What was the experience like, actually, first game?
It was fun. I think we can piggyback off each other more as we're going along. I jumped out my gap one play, and he made the play for me for a 2-yard gain. Hold on, bro. Bro, you ain't wait on me? He's selfish. Damn.
Yeah, here you go. What is it about his game and your game that you feel mesh well together?
Well, he's an explosive player. He done did it for a long time. I feel like we both can rush interior-wise. We both take pride in the way we play. We go have fun.
Do you feel like the Jets were wearing down on you guys? Obviously you set the tone early, but did you feel them feeling you as the game went along?
For sure.
How fun was a win like this tonight? Obviously, there was a lot of talk about the return of Aaron Rodgers and the Jets' defense and offense. How good did this feel? It was a big one.
That was the goal the whole time, to go out there and win. It was fun, though.
What did you think about Levi's Stadium and the Niner faithful?
It's dope.
You experienced something like this before?
Nah, nothing like this before.
I had to hear it from Debo and a few other guys, but at this point, we're just happy we came up with it.
Kyle, why is this team so impervious to outside influences, whether it be contract issues or guys missing practice?
Yeah, it is so funny. I mean, the reports this whole training camp are that the vibes are so terrible here, and that couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
I think we all understand that there's a business to this game, and we let guys handle that, and we want everyone to get as much money as possible, and we know once they're here, it's right back to business. It's right back to doing what we do, and there's a reason those guys got paid. It's because of what they do on the field. It's because of their character. It's how hard they work, and you got to be one of those type of guys to be a part of this group. And I think our front office knows that. We know that. So that type of stuff, it doesn't bother us.
Is that because of the leadership here? Possibly?
I think so. I think it's the leadership. I think it's the culture that we've established over these 8 years that we've been here now, and weed out the guys that aren't like that, and we only keep the guys that are. And I think now it's accumulated, and it's just become what we do.
Is there a noticeable maybe uptick in Brock's maturity or experience now that he's been through some things as a quarterback?
You know what? It's a tough question, just because over 3 years, I feel like every other week we get asked that. Is there an uptick in how much better is Brock? And he always is continuing to get better, so it just sounds like a broken record. But I also don't want to try and say I didn't trust him his rookie year, because by the end of that season, I trusted the heck out of him. So I think he's doing a great job and is continuing to get better.
Hey, you said get better. How much better can this offense and Brock and all of these, pieces get together? Because, obviously you guys have been the standard pretty much offensively and defensively the past few years, but when you look at this year, you're losing your reigning Offensive Player of the Year in this game today.
Right.
Mason steps in and does a heck of a job. You had all the holdouts this offseason. Just so much stuff going on. And you guys still come out and put over 30 points under a very good Jets defensive team.
Yeah.
So my question is, like, is there even a ceiling for this offense? And how far can you guys
Well,
go?
no, I mean, I like to think there is no ceiling, but I think we get better by finishing and scoring more touchdowns. I mean, we kicked 6 field goals today, and I don't know if I've been a part of that in a long time. So I think the standard for our offense is to score touchdowns, so we do feel like, there is room to get better.
As far as what surprised you the most today, whether it was Mason or Moody connecting on 6 of 6 field goals or whatever it was, when you look at this game and just the overall takeaway, what kind of stands out to you the most?
I don't like using the word surprise because I expect our guys to do so well. But I was definitely just happy with the maturity of this team, like you said, with all what people perceive as distractions and noise, and for us to go out there and show that it really didn't bother us. And I felt like we did a really good job on offense of just being physical and just kind of establishing our dominance there on the offensive line. And I always love to see that.
How nice was it to see that game by Jordan? I mean, you guys know how good a player he is, but for him to do it on a national audience on Monday Night Football.
So happy for him. Exactly. We know what JP is, and we knew if he had an opportunity that he could do something special. But it is cool for him to get that on Monday Night Football because he's still a young player, and I think it's really cool for guys like him to get that recognition and for people to see it. So I'm really happy for him.
In terms of maturity, 2 years ago you didn't know what Brock was. Last year you didn't know how his arm was going to hold up.
Yeah.
What's the Brock of this year? I mean, is he just now the man? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the sky's the limit for Brock. I mean, he was in the MVP race last year, and that was, like you said, coming off of UC.
Horsehair, straight up. Untamed horsehair.
JJ.